What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at the animated movie TMNT, the fourth installment into the Ninja Turtles franchise. This movie is a loose connection to the original 90s trilogy. So, my overall thoughts on TMNT is this. I think I like this movie on the same level as I do Ninja Turtles 2, though for absolutely different reasons. I think TMNT captures the same spirit of the first Ninja Turtles movie, where it has that lightheartedness to it, but it also has those moments of seriousness to it. And I think this movie also has a good, grittiness to it in certain areas. This movie does get a lot of things right. It gets the personalities of the turtles all down pat. I think the voice cast in this movie is the strongest part of this movie. All the actors who play the Ninja Turtles are all spot on. With me, the exception being Northern North as Raphael, who nails it, and the actor who plays Leonardo is just as good as well. And the strongest part of this movie is the rivalry between Leo and Raphael, which is done perfectly, especially with Raphael in this movie being known as is a vigilante known as the Night Watcher, and you have Leo who's on his tracks. And when it's revealed that Raph to Leo that Raph is the Night Watcher, that just makes it even better, and it further intensifies the already built-in rivalry between Leo and Raph, which this movie to me explores really well. We also get to see Michelangelo act like a clown and Donatello do his nerdy expertiseness. Well, April O'Neil and Casey Jones are in this movie. April O'Neil voiced by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Uh, don't really care for how April O'Neil's handled in this movie. She doesn't do a whole lot of reporting. This is not April O'Neil, the reporter. This is April O'Neil, the treasure hunter. And to me, it's kind of weird not seeing April as doing her investigative reporting this, because that's like April's strong suit as her being a reporter and her going to find the truth. Her being an archaeologist, I don't know. To me, it just feels weird. Weird. Nothing against Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think she did a fine job, but I don't know. I'm just not really a big. I'm big in how April's handled in this. However, I do like Chris Evans, and I like Chris Evans as Casey Jones. Though I think in this movie, now when you watch Casey Jones from the first movie, and then you watch the Casey Jones in this movie, it's like the tale of two cities. The Elias Koteas Casey Jones was like this sarcastic guy. This Casey, he's more of a bumbling goof, and nothing against Chris Evans. I like Chris Evans. I don't know. It just feels weird for Casey Jones. I mean, there are moments where Casey Jones is actually really good. Like I like the stuff with Casey and Raph. I think they're handled really well. I think they're handled really well. But there are and the relationship with Casey and April is fine too. But there are also some moments where I think Casey comes across more as a bumbling goof than that serious wise ass that he was in that first movie. That's just me, of course. Uh, Splinter is voiced by Mako in this movie, and with all due respect to Mako, don't mind him. I don't mind him as a voice of Splinter, and he does have some good lines, and I like the bond he has with the Turtles. He's just no Kevin Clash. Kevin Clash to me will always be the voice of Splinter, no matter what. Mako's voice as Splinter, I don't know. It's whatever to me. It's just there, just there this year, just there. The animation of this movie is very crisp. This is a beautiful looking movie. The animation looks tight. It looks clean. It looks crisp. The turtles, to me, they all look really well. And this movie's got some really good comic book esque shots to it. And it also has some really good like Batman esque shadowy shots in it too. Kevin Monroe and his team did a really good job of really making this movie feel like a comic book come to life. The movie looks great from an aesthetic standpoint. All right, now that I got my positives out of the way, let's get on to the cons. And the biggest con for this movie is that the A story of this movie, it really is kind of boring. Um, Basically, this man named Winters wants to find his four brothers so he can be mortal again. And Winters is voiced by Patrick Stewart. I think the A story is weak. It's really boring. It's not like, it's not offensively bad. It's just like you could do so much more if you're doing, because this movie also involves like opening portals to different dimensions and things like that, because he has to find like 13 monsters and send them back to their dimensions. I mean, like I said in my Turtles 3 review, if you're gonna do things involving cosmic entities and stuff like that, just do Krang and do Dimension X and do the Technodrome. It could lead for a much more entertaining and interesting movie. especially if you're not going to have Shredder, which he is nowhere to be found in this movie with the exception of an opening shot, and it's just like a comic book like page. The Shredder is absent, though the Foot Clan is in this movie led by Karai, but the Foot Clan are just hired guns basically. They don't really do much. If you're gonna do anything, I would have had a movie where Karai is where Karai is pretty much out for revenge against the Turtles for the demise of the Shredder. If you're gonna have that be an A story, just have the entire movie be Karai and the Foot Clan hunting and chasing down the Turtles for revenge of the Shredder, or just have the Shredder in this movie teaming up with Krang in Dimension X. I think those would have been Those would have been much better movies than this. Because overall, the A story for this movie is kind of weak. I mean, the movie does try to parallel the the character of Yodel and his brothers with the Turtles, but it's just really weak. The Turtles are a bond, and Yodel and his brothers, they're pretty much broken. But I do appreciate how they tried to make Yodel is what the character's Winter's name was back when he was this warlord. But I do like how they tried to make Winters a sympathetic like figure. That he's not doing evil. He's not doing this for an evil thing. He's doing it because he wants to be mortal again. He doesn't want to be immortal because he's seen too many things. And to his credit, Patrick Stewart does the best he can to give the character some charisma. So I give it that. But overall, the story is weak. However, the climax is fun. It's fun seeing the Turtles take down the Foot Clan. That was cool to see. And again, the animation is all around solid and spot on. Okay, well, with all that being said, I'm going to give TMNT a solid 6.5 out of 10. It's a mixed bag. It's got some good things and it got some not good things, but it's not offensively bad. You could have easily fixed these things. You could have had a much better story to it. But the things it gets well, the rivalry between Leo and Raphael is done perfectly. The personalities of the Turtles are all handled really well. The B story, which is the rivalry between Leo and Raph, is the strong point, and the whole subplot of Raph being the Night Watcher is good stuff, and that really could have been for its own interesting movie as well. But at the end of the day, we got what we got, and a 6.5. It's above average. It's nothing horrible. It's nothing bad. You can watch it and be very entertained by it. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.